Hello, today we are in a farm and we'll be bringing you more information about farm business. And on my left is a very handsome man who is into farming business. He's into fish farming, he's into the normal farming too and other farming aspects. And today he'll be educating us why we should venture into agribusiness. So, boss, please, your name.
My name is Eric Ankunum. Ankunum, Eric.
Eric Ankunum.
Yes.
From
Accra.
Accra?
Yes.
Okay. I'm also from Accra.
Well, we'll talk about that one.
We'll talk about that one. Okay. Well, today we are in a very beautiful farm. I want to know, I've just highlighted some that you are into normal farming and the fish farming. If I may know all the crops or the produce that you are into.
Oh, we started this 2008.
Okay.
First, we started by using there's a tree called Vocanga africana.
Vocanga
Africana.
Okay, what does it do?
It's a medicinal tree.
Okay.
They use it for other diseases, intensive memory and other stuff.
Okay.
Parkinson's disease, enzymes and stuff.
Okay.
Yes, we went into it, but then along the line we had problem with the marketing, and then also the land we acquired, they didn't give us the yield
you want.
So in a business aspect, it's not giving us really what we really want. So then, with the interruption with other farmers that were in the system at that time,
okay,
we were introduced to pig farming.
Okay.
So between 2010 and 2011, we started going to
the piggery. Okay.
Yes.
You started with how many?
Beginning we started with only 10.
Only 10?
Only 10.
Wow.
And even from advice we got from beginning, we were told that even 10 is too much and that it will be difficult for us to manage.
Really?
Yes.
How many males, how many females?
Pigs actually 10 sows to a boar.
Oh, okay.
10 sows to a boar. And so we started even with 9 with a boar.
Okay.
So making 10. And the beginning we have challenges. The challenges was that, you see, some of the farmers, we depend on people's speculations and perceptions about the general farming of pigs and stuff.
Okay.
So when we started, first we put up the house, then we brought in the animals. The next thing was the feed.
Okay.
When we got there we realized that there was a challenge
with the feeding.
Because what we were told
was not
at
the
all,
reality on the
at all. So then we realized that, look, Charlie, we need to take our time and study this whole thing, because first you get people who have been in the business for years will tell you, why don't you go for what they call it, restaurant waste, chop bar waste, leaves,
okay,
and all that. But we realize that pig farm, you cannot rely on what they call it,
those restaurant waste
and chop bar. I mean, people go for soups that have stayed overnight, that are waste. And then you tell you about African swine fever, which normally comes from some of those things.
Those waste.
Yeah, waste. Because, for example, if a pig have African swine fever,
okay,
and you kill it, somebody will eat the meat, all right. Maybe he doesn't know.
Okay.
And he eat the meat. Along the line, they will dispose the waste of whether the bones and other stuff into either it is soup or in a waste bin that you've gone to collect for your fish,
okay,
your pigs. And they have the African swine fever. Definitely, you have introduced African swine fever to your farm. Yes, you have introduced African swine fever to your farm. 2, if you go into pig farming, in real terms, if you put all the technicalities involved, you realize that you cannot, as a farmer, or let's say a commercial farmer, you cannot indulge your farm into these speculations and, you know.
So meaning that you really need an expert.
Yes. So then we have to. So then we start to do contact. Went even to.
So meaning that if maybe Mr. A is into pig farming.
Yes.
And you, Mr. B, you want to start the pig farming, you getting the advice from Mr. A is not enough.
No.
You still need to go to an expert who is specialized into piggery,
yes,
business or farming,
yes,
to give you the insight.
Yes. Aside from that, you are coming in as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
You want to grow business.
Yeah.
Really, you are not in love with pigs. You want to make money.
Yes.
You want to grow business.
Yes.
Right. So definitely you are investing. So now the two of you have a different
mindset.
Yes.
Okay.
Of how you want to set up your business.
Wow.
So you taking the advice, it's just a basic information
for you.
Yes, because when we started, after 6 months, we realized that we have problems because we were introduced to wheat bran and what they call it, palm kernel cake.
Okay.
And then along the line, we realized some of the sows, when they start firing, issues. The piglets will die inside them before they come out.
Wow.
So they come out, you see the whole piglet look dark or black or rotten.
Wow.
So from there, this is where your ideas of how you want to start your business comes in. So now we are looking for solution.
Okay.
First, we have to go to veterinary.
Okay.
And report our case. So one of the incidents, we have to carry the dead pig to the veterinary. They have to do postmortem to check what really causes the thing. Unfortunately, we didn't even get the results because where we went, the facilities there is limited. And so
that's another challenge we are facing in Ghana.
You see? And so that's why I'm saying that getting the idea from the other farmer who have been in the business for years is not the only solution.
Okay.
It's not going to give you all the information. You may even end up even adding some of the information you have to even him. And so when we got the information given to us, then we need to go into a full-time conventional feed.
Okay, so you have to come up with your own feed.
Yes. So then we start to get in touch with the experts in preparing feed, like prepare feed.
Okay.
We got it means that what we are doing, it wasn't right. Part of the feed, the formulation was causing all the problem that
we were facing.
Yes. And so then we have to get the expert to come and show us what to do. First, they will tell you, give us some of the feed items in your area that are closer to you, which will make your feed costs
come down small.
Yes. And so we try hard to do that. But then here, especially in Western region, one of the main item is maize.
Okay.
Maize in Western region, there's no maize.
We don't have maize.
No.
We don't have farmers going to maize.
No, not at all.
Why?
Because Western region, they import most of the maize they consume in Western region, or let's say Takrady.
So if we should say, maize farming can become a business in Western region.
It is also a business. It is business even before pig farm. It is already a big business, right?
Okay.
And so now they give us formulation. They give you formulation. You need maize, you need soya, you need this, you need that. Now, like the advisor said earlier on, you need to look for some of these feed items in your area.
Okay.
If you don't find them, it means you have to travel.
You have to travel?
Yeah, you have to travel.
Wow.
So now, where do we go? Then, first, we went to Techiman. Yes. We went to Techiman. Techiman, we have to go for maize. That also came with its own challenge.
Cost.
Not even the cost, the challenge.
The challenge. Transporting it.
Transporting it was one. When we got here, we realized that the maize we went to buy was not fully dry. Even when we went around September, which around September, most of the maize supposed to be dry. But to be honest with you, it wasn't 100% dry. And so we have to find a way to dry. Unfortunately, Western region, our weather is a bit wet compared to the middle belt and then the northern. So then you have a problem with drying because your weather is moist.
Okay.
And so you have a problem of drying even your maize. So that also comes with its own challenge. And so we even lost to go and import the maize. To even Western region. So then it wasn't that alone. We have to get rice bran.
Okay.
Because after wheat bran, because we have the Takrady flour mills here, it's close to us. So there we were able to. Then we have to get rice bran.
Another challenge.
That too, Western region doesn't have a rice bran.
So where do you get some?
You have to go to Eastern region, Esuchari.
Just one business.
Yes. So we have to go to Esuchari. Some we have to go to Asim Praso or Adansi Praso.
Wow.
Yes. To go and bring rice bran. Even that one itself, we were lucky when we took the pig to the veterinary. It was one of the head of the veterinary who was into pig farming. So we were lucky to meet him. When we met him, he introduced us to some of these rice farmers.
Wow.
Get in touch with them. Not close to Western as well. You have to go across Central, Greater Accra, and then from the other side to Western, Central, and then Ashanti.
Wow.
Some even I go to Eastern just to get rice bran.
This alone wouldn't make the farming business attractive.
Because what happened when along the line we thought we can manage
around your scope.
Yes, because first we're introduced to cassava, but then cassava also have its challenge. You need to process the cassava before you can give it to the pigs. You cannot give the cassava to the pigs direct.
How do you treat it? You have to cook it.
First, either you cook it or you dry it, like we call it kokonte.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then you turn it into powder.
Okay.
Then you can use it to mix your feed. One thing that we came across and even caused us more issues was that the feed have to be 100% dry.
100% dry.
100% dry. Because one, if you add maize, if you put maize have to be dry. Because that will cause you problem. One, it start to get moldy. Fungus will quickly
enter in.
Yes. And then you have challenge.
Wow. So basically their food needs to be dry.
Dry.
Not wet.
So whatever item you add to the formulation, you need to make sure
it is
it's
dry.
100% dry. So starting from maize, then on and on and on.
So don't we have companies in Ghana just like that of the poultry, whereby they like a company like Echo,
yes,
they prepare the feed with all the various formulas. Yeah. We don't have it for pigs.
They have. They were there before, but at the same time you have to look at numbers.
Numbers as in
cost.
Okay. So it's expensive.
It is.
Because they also have to struggle just like you are struggling to get a feed.
It is.
Wow.
Woefully expensive. Woefully expensive. Because you see, I don't know how they manage to get their feed prepared and all that. But if you look at your finishing product into the market and look at the feed cost that they are giving you, no, you are working for somebody.
Wow.
Yes, you are working for somebody. You know, and so for me, we have a challenge. As you speak now, you know already the feed cost in the market at the moment. From poultry, look, there's no difference between, that's the fact I'll tell you, there's no difference between poultry and pig farming. No.
They are the same.
No, there's no difference. There's no difference.
The only difference is the animals.
Thank you.
One is pig, one is a fowl.
Thank you. But in terms of
feeding,
there's no difference. Maybe the only difference is that you say maybe pigs, they will eat more than even the poultry or the chicks. But even that, you need to have all the numbers right.
Wow.
So when we started, we decided that, look, we need to go speed. So first, we started with 10. That was giving us challenge. We need to quickly find a way to solve the problem. We were able to overcome the problem. So we decided to multiply.
Okay.
So between 2011 and 2013, I have 800 pigs.
2011 to 2013, within 3 years. 800, yes. From 10 to 800.
Yes.
So it comes back. How did you solve the feed problem?
But that's what I told you from beginning.
You have to travel.
Yes, you have to travel. So I travel every month.
Just to go and look for feed?
Every month. So quickly, what we have to do is to go and buy. We bought a truck.
Okay.
So I use a truck myself.
Hunting for maize?
Yeah.
Or feed? Feed. In general?
Just thank you. Because to be honest, I'm starting from maize. I've told you, the only feed item we found in Western region was wheat bran because of
the takrade
flour mill.
Okay.
And then palm kernel cake.
Okay.
Because of the oil.
No palm.
Oil, yes.
No palm and the.
Thank you.
Bob.
Bob, thank you.
Okay.
So these two At least those ones, yes. And even that one is not even easy. I don't want to go into that one.
Into that aspect of the politics.
It's not even easy. It's not even easy just to walk in to say,
you want to.
I'm a pig farmer. I want to buy
the palm kernel
cake to go and feed my pigs. It's not easy. Don't just walk in.
Wow.
That's also another aspect.
But what do they use the waste for? Did they have something they use it for?
I mean, when we got there, at that time, they don't dispose it. They were exporting some of them. They were. And so when you go quickly, they will tell you that, you know. And so there was also a huge challenge. But along the line, like I said, you are determined. You are an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Definitely, you know that you will come across
some of these challenges.
And so if you come across challenges, how you have to find solutions and move on.
Okay.
So that's what we did. So we were able to manage. After that, our next challenge was the marketing. Because if I tell you for pigs, if there's no market, it's a lie.
There's market.
There's market. Most farmers cannot even meet the demands.
Wow.
That's a fact. But I cannot tell you where. But what I know for a fact, yes, what I know for a fact is that the demand is there.
But we cannot supply.
We cannot supply. That is a fact.
So if we are able to solve the major problem, which is the feed problem, more youth can go into the pig farming.
Yes. And then my advice is most that want to go into piggery or even poultry, we should find a way to produce our own feed.
But that's not easy.
Neither the buying in the market is also easy. And so it is better when you have the thing in your own hands. You can manage it well.
You can manage it well, yeah.
If you get to the market, look, between 2015 till now, a bag of maize was 150. Now we are paying 650.
A bag of maize?
A bag of maize.
From 150 to 600?
Yes. As you speak. Right. Now.
So right now I would say if you are into maize farming, it is the most lucrative business right now.
Yes, at the moment.
Even over the fish and the
yes,
the poultry, the piggery.
Well, you've answered the question. So that's the situation at the moment. Now, if you look at
so why are the people not farming maize?
The challenge is big. One, you know, they have problem with this. They had this caterpillar attacking maize.
Okay.
I think somewhere between 2016 and 2017.
Yes.
The farmers had that challenge.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure, as you speak now, that problem is not yet
fully solved.
Yes. And so I'm sure some of the farmers are having problem of going into cultivation of maize. Because if you don't have the money to control those pets, then you have a problem.
Wow.
So that was a problem with the maize farmers. And then, you see, they also have a challenge with the subsidies of the chemicals and, you know, the fertilizer.
Okay.
You get it. So each year they will produce, but then they encounter losses
due to those pests and all those things.
That's right.
And
so
fertilizer,
and then also the availability
even of machineries too.
Yes, machinery, we don't want to touch that one because that one cry
It's even
is beyond.
Is a bigger problem.
Yeah, exactly.
But Ministry of Agri have machineries. Why are they not
No,
supporting?
I haven't seen any machinery.
You've not seen any
No,
machinery?
I've not seen any.
Have you been to their office before?
No, I don't need the machinery in their office. We need the machinery
In the field.
in the field.
But if you don't go to the office, how will you know maybe the machine is in one of the
Well, let me
fields?
talk about the farmers who are producing the maize, right?
Wow.
And they are having challenge. And so, if you are telling me that
Ministry of Agri.
the Ministry of Agri have a machinery packed in their offices or in their warehouse, and I go to the field to go and buy maize to come and feed my pigs, and I could see the challenge that the producer or the maize farmer is having. You telling me that there's a machinery packed at the Ministry of Agri?
Mechanization section of
That one, to be honest, I don't want to talk about that one. I haven't seen it, to be honest. I haven't.
Wow.
Yes, I haven't. Because most places that I have been to buy maize, it's all individual investment.
Wow.
Yes, individual investment. They buy tractor and then hire it to the farmers, right? Both the ploughing and then harvesting and all that. That's individuals' investment. I've never met any tractor on a field that is coming from Ministry of Agri.
Wow.
I must be honest with you. To be honest, all my years in farming, I haven't.
Wow.
So, to be honest, for that one, maybe it's just on paper that they have the machinery at the warehouse, but in reality, no.
just a few.
In reality, no. To be honest, so that itself is also a challenge for the farmers. Then you come back to the fertilizer, the chemicals. I mean, call it, because some of them use weedicide to control the weed. Because if you go to a community where they produce, go to what they call it, either King Kenso, Techiman, Nkranza, and all those places, they produce a huge tons of maize. Really. But these are individual investment, like I said. And so if the cost of the chemicals is rising, just like the piggery, that between 2015 and 2022, maize is between 150 cedis to 600 Ghana cedis. Now, go back and check and find out how much is a meat price also in the market for the farmer. You can trade for 3 years, 4 years. Then a farmer can get an increment of maybe 1 cedi per kilo.
Profit.
Yes.
Not even 5
That's
cedis.
increment. So that's increment between. So maize is moving. Let's say between 6 to 8 years, it has moved from 150 Ghana cedis
to 600
Ghana cedis. You work out the percentage. Then a farmer who is using the maize to produce the meat, take it to the market, and between 3 years to 4 years, the price is still the same. Worst case, it will move just 1 cedi per kilo.
Wow.
You understand? And so, with the issue of maize, farmers really, really have a challenge.
So, now, it looks like even from the starting of this conversation, we were hitting more on the challenge from the beginning.
Yes.
Now, how were you motivated to the extent that you didn't give up and you are still in business from 2011 to 2022.
Yeah.
What motivated you, and what kept you going?
Well, like I said, we came in, acquired the land. In the first place, as a farmer or a business or an entrepreneur, you acquire land. You want to do business. The first business you approach did not give you
Good profit.
good profit. You have to move on.
You have to move on.
You have to move on. And so, with our own hard work to be traveling around, then we discover a different business.
Okay. So
But then-
out of
But then
one problem, you came out with another solution.
Yes.
Okay.
But then when we go in, we realize that there was a huge demand for pork.
Pork.
Yes. And even right now,
Still, there's a high demand.
there's a high demand for pork. No doubt. And so I would say that was what even motivates us. Because the market was there. I mean, when you go there, even some of the buyers will say, look, the farmers will come and tell us they have pigs. They go to the farm, they don't even have.
Wow.
Yes, so even as we speak now, I'm telling you for a fact that the demand for pork is so huge. It's so huge. That's a fact. It's so huge.
Wow.
It's so huge. The demand for pork is so huge. That is a fact.
So the youth.
But the problem that we had was that normally it is good to address the challenges surrounding the business.
Okay.
Then
You keep
can
on
move
moving.
But mostly when you go, the people motivate you by saying, oh, it's a good business. And true, it's a good business.
It's a good business, but it comes with a challenge.
Thank you. But then when you are not introduced to the challenge, then you face issues. But having said that, piggery is not a bad business.
Okay.
Piggery is not a bad business. It's a very good business. It's just that the problem farmers will face is that feed items, and then they taking their final product
To the market.
But as you speak now, well, prices have increased a bit. So
Okay.
I think on average, price per kilo is around 20 cedis
Okay.
per kilo. So in a way, it was okay. Back then, we were struggling to even get 15 cedis and all
Wow.
that. See, looking at even the feed cost. So for me, my advice for, let's say, youth that want to go into
Okay.
piggery or any other poultry or piggery, is that one, it is better you have access to feed.
First.
First,
That's number one.
have access to feed.
Feed.
Or either you produce it by yourself or you are going to buy. Fine. But then make sure you have access to them.
Okay.
And then if you are buying it, then have a guarantee of pricing.
Okay.
Then you come back. With the starting of the pigs, it's not the issue.
The structure is not an issue.
The structure is not an
Buying
issue. The
the-
structure is just a normal structure to say if you even are putting up a house.
Okay.
Right. And so that's my advice.
Okay.
And then back then, like I said, speaking to other farmers who have been in the piggery business for years,
Yeah.
one of the challenges we had is that most people you approach, you see them having a small hut, either close to a swampy area or, excuse me to be, a dumping site.
Okay. So that's another
Yes.
step that
Yes.
if you want to go into it, you need to look at.
Yes, because one,
It shouldn't be close to a swampy area.
no, because you need to build a house.
Okay. More or less like a dry house.
Yes, you need to build a house. Because nowadays, as you speak, most buyers will come and inspect your farm.
So the farm need to be neat.
Yes.
It shouldn't be close to a dumping,
No.
refuse
Not
dump
at all.
site.
And even your waste management should be a key as well.
Okay.
Your waste, because definitely you are also generating waste.
Waste. Okay.
So it's also one of the main things.
Okay.
Because the buyer will come and visit you.
Okay.
You see, because mainly they will send some of their people to come and inspect, and then they will want to know your practice.
Okay.
The kind of feed you've been giving to the pigs and all that. They will definitely come and inspect your site. And so your site should be 100% neat.
Neat.
Your waste gutters and stuff, you need to channel them well. Make sure you have a pit where
that will
most of
collect
that collect
your
all
waste.
your waste into a pit to manage it well, because they don't want to come to a pig farm that smells. You can't even stand there.
Okay.
So that's the main thing. So aside from the feed challenge, the housing and the waste management, it's just as normal as anything. That one, in your own capacity, you can decide how
big or small you want it.
Thank you. And
Okay.
then that will enable you to manage what you are, the kind of business you are growing.
Okay.
So that's what I was telling you.
Okay. So now, looking at the piggery business or the poultry business, the youth are watching you. How much? They have just completed school. Some will tell you, and that is the song or the chorus most of us we sing today. Where is the capital to start? Where is the capital to start? That's the first song, because even with the video we did, when we posted it, one of the first questions the guy was asking, I think John Dumelo put a picture of a cabbage farm, and he said that with 8,000, you can acquire land and start a cabbage business, and at the end of 6 months you'll be getting roughly 4,000 as profit when you take all your expenses out. So a lot of youths were showing interest, but one negative question that keep on popping is how to raise the capital to start is a problem. So how will you advise the youths, the graduates who have the passion to go into agribusiness?
Wow.
How they raise the capital, or where are they going to get the money from?
Well, what I will say is, for now, even the nation Ghana is struggling to even get a capital. And so, yes, and so as a young entrepreneur, or you want to be a businessman, you should start as small as you can.
Start as small as you can.
Start. Because if you are waiting for somebody to come and say, Mr. A, this is money,
you're not going to get it.
No.
So, for instance,
then to farming,
how
loans
small
from banks.
how small can a person start?
Oh, you can start, for example, a pig farm. You can start with 1 or 2 pig. Let's 1 or 2 sow.
1 or 2 sow.
Sow.
That's 2 females.
Yes, 2 females.
And 1 male.
And 1 male.
3.
Worst case, you can even hire a male to come and cross.
Okay.
Because you don't have the money. Let's go that line.
Okay.
To say you are young.
So what size of space do the person need? Because when you talk about the capital, the next thing they will ask you, they will tell you, where is the land? So what size of space?
As for that question, I will not give answer. There's land everywhere.
There's land everywhere.
There's land everywhere. Look, the size of land we had in this country, over 70%
is still unused.
It's not being used. It's lying down. I mean, you travel to the north, west, even central,
Volta.
Oh, don't even talk.
Volta, we've not even touched it.
You go to Volta region, I'm telling you, there's a vast land. You go to Volta region today and go and speak to a chief or a family head to say, I want one plot of land to start my piggery. And see if you cannot.
So the problem most of us are having, we don't want to move from the city and go to the village and go and start.
We don't want to go that one because you see, the problem even starts from the kind of education we give to our youth.
The
right?
kind of education?
Yes, because they were taught that when you complete school,
there's
a white job. There's a white job waiting for you. That you put on white shirt and white coat, you know,
and
so
a tie.
That you will not see any stain in your dress.
So our education system is having a negative impact.
It's a serious problem.
Wow.
It's a serious problem. Okay, let me give you a little small of my background.
Yeah,
where I grew up. I grew up in a village. As a teenager at that time, I was born in Accra. Later, I moved to a village where they do cocoa farming, all kinds of farming, vegetables, just name it.
Okay, what's the name of the village?
The place is called Akim Edubiasi.
Okay,
that's Kudropon Nkrumah's
hometown constituency.
Yes.
Edubiasi.
Yes, Edubiasi.
Okay, Kojo Nkrumah. As you can hear, you have one great farmer from your constituency.
So I grew up there.
Okay.
There, as a young chap, you go to school, right? Weekends, you go and support farming.
Good. So you acquire the school skill and you acquire the farming skill too.
Yes. So, from beginning, I know how to do
weeding and planting.
Farming. Yes, already. I started that one when I was 10 to date. So, from cocoa farming to just name it. So we're introduced. You have to, because that's the system that you came to
meet.
And so we grew up like that. You see, where elsewhere you've been taught only to go to school. I mean, let's put it this way: we are having problem with our youth, but don't we ask our youth to go to weekend classes?
Yes, we do ask them.
I mean, you have Monday to Friday to go to school.
Yes,
and you have Saturday and the other day to go back to classes. Why? Are you going to eat the book?
So the parents
you're not going to eat the book.
Parenting is a problem here.
Right now, you are advising the youth for them to start agri farming. There's no problem. But do you have the foundation? Because I am telling you the truth. If you advise any youth today to go into agri farming, there's no problem. But the problem is that if you don't have the foundation, that itself, it's a challenge that you have to understand. It's a challenge to start with.
Wow.
If today somebody like John Gemelo is doing farming, it's because he have the background.
What if maybe after school you choose to learn it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That your weekends
should be in farming if you're interested in farming.
I mean, when I was kid, when the male child will go to the farm, the female child will also go. But then they will close early and go home and do one or two things
for the kitchen.
You understand? And so that's the background. Well, to be honest with you, this is, if the youth want to listen, for me as I stand here, this is me, right? Anywhere you put me, so far as agri is concerned,
you excel there.
I'm telling you, anywhere. If it's fish farming, You know, piggery.
Poultry.
I told you, piggery. We started piggery. We started with 9 plus a boa in 2011. In 2013, we have 800.
Wow.
In fact, right now we have a capacity to produce about 3,000 pigs a year.
3,000.
3,000 pigs a year. That's the capacity we have. You understand? And then into other things. Don't even go there. So maize cultivation, cassava cultivation, beans, just name it. Just name it. And I've been doing this since childhood.
Wow.
I moved from Accra after my basic school, go to Tenga School and come back to the Western region here.
So you are an engineer?
I'm a electrical
engineer.
Yeah.
And you dropped the electrical engineering?
I dropped it because...
And now you are wiring the farm. You are wiring the plant and animals.
Some of the land as a background.
Yes.
Wow.
So, first, when I was in trade, I told my colleagues that, look, Charlie, after this course, I'm moving.
To farming?
Yeah, I'm moving. So when I moved,
okay,
I moved from Accra to Western region. And some of my friends, they were surprised to come and see me moving from the city to, to say a remote, like let's say a village.
So if I should pick a point from your educational background as an engineer, you didn't end it there, but you also diverted or diversify your skill of knowledge into agribusiness.
Yes.
So it's not compulsory that if you go and read banking and finance, you should end up in banking and finance.
Well, you end up there if the conditions...
It's okay.
Yes.
But you can also, I don't want to use the word unlearn, but you can add another skill to the banking and finance and divert.
Yes. Yes.
But we find most of the youths saying that I read computer, I read this, so I cannot go into this. Well, what is the problem?
You read computer to help you to manage whatever you want to do. That's a start.
Okay.
Because if you are doing agric, you need a computer to even to accumulate your
data.
Your data, yeah? Or you need information.
Yeah.
Right? You need information. Because agric doesn't end up at your doorstep. No.
So meaning
because
that
even we started, we even got a volunteer from Europe to the farm here.
Okay.
To come and give us a technical assistant.
Wow.
Where you meet a pig farmer with a young chap. Just two of them manage 100 sows farm, which means they are producing close to 2,000 pigs a year.
Wow.
And they manage it too. So you can go as far as Europe just to acquire knowledge.
And come back.
To help you to manage your farm. So whatever level you've got yourself into, so far as education is concerned, does not end there. Or it doesn't stop you from dodging yourself into other areas.
Okay.
To grow. No. And so, yes. So far as I'm concerned, this, my 2 hands and my head and my 2 legs take me anywhere in Ghana.
But the certificate is lying down there.
Yeah. So take me anywhere. The northern, the middle belt, the western, the central, wherever. So far as there's land. And then experience will tell you, when you, as a farmer, you meet a land that is good for whatever you want to cultivate, you should be able to tell. As a good farmer.
Okay.
You should be able to tell that where I am is good for
this kind of crop, or is good for this kind of business.
Although we have other weather challenges and stuff, but then when you get there, your experience should tell you that this land is good for
this crop or this animal. Okay.
Like
okay. Yeah. I can see that here you are planting some plants or some, I don't know how to call it, What's the name? What are you planting?
It's called ugu.
Ugu.
Yes.
What is it used for?
For food.
Food?
Just like kontomire.
So they can eat it?
Yes.
Cook?
You can even chew it if you want to.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Bite it.
What nutrients?
So many.
Okay.
So many.
Okay.
The information is out there. If you go on the net, you will find it.
Okay.
So many.
UGU. Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So, yes. So, in terms of agric, like I said, the area is big. But let's be honest. You should be the kind of person that you are ready to go down. Or you don't want stains in your clothes. Then you have issues.
So you must be ready to put your hand into the ground.
Everywhere.
Okay.
I mean, you see John Jomele on YouTube cooking jollof rice and call the workers, Charlie, let's come and eat. That's the bottom line.
So you need to drop the pride that you are a graduate. You need to drop it down.
The pride is supposed to be your pocket.
That's the money.
The pride is supposed to.
When you put the hand into the fish pond and you are rearing the fish, you are feeding.
The pride is supposed to be your pocket. So the youth should ask themselves question that if they also give birth to children like today, would they be able to pay their fees? If you are criticizing the elders, your fathers and other people, but they were able to pay for your fees.
Yeah.
Today you ask yourself, most of our youth, you don't want to get married because the there is not there. So your pride first is
your pocket. And what will fill the pocket is putting your hand to work.
Bro, that's what I tell you. If I take you to most villages that I have been to, because I need people to also motivate me when I started a farm. I go to places and you see them, they were 10 times dirty than me.
But they are rich.
And when I got there, I feel embarrassed.
With the dress you were wearing?
Yes. Because you put on nice shirt and then the man with the dirty clothes, what he's doing. Look, I took my friend to Ashanti region when we want to do fish farming.
Okay.
So we went there because there, the fish farming, they are doing well.
Okay.
Let's be honest.
Ashanti region,
fish farming, they are doing very well.
Okay.
I mean, when you go, you see earth dams. Some have earth dam, earth ponds. Sorry.
Okay.
Earth ponds. That somebody have like 20 acres
of fish
covered with fish ponds.
Okay.
You understand? And then you get to the farm, you have dressed nice, we got a car, we drove to the place. The man haven't got a car, but he was able to hire a bulldozer and excavator on his farm.
To excavate?
Yes. He's
and going to?
He's constructing, what they call it?
A pond.
And he hired excavator and bulldozer to his farm for 1 month.
So this is where the question comes.
Yes.
A graduate who has just finished last 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
His question is, how do I get a capital to start?
That one, I will not give you the answer. Because that man I'm talking about, he started 20 years ago.
So how did he start?
He started with nothing.
He started with nothing?
Nothing.
So the youth starting with nothing, when you say it, it's like they don't want, it's difficult for them to...
It is because what I said to you, whatever you want to do, first you need to be introduced into those things.
Okay. First, so introduction to it.
Yes, because if you
and
don't
the
have...
people in it.
Yes, because right now, if you don't have the background...
Okay.
If I tell you right now, it's like a Nancy story.
Yes, yes.
You don't have the background. So as I'm talking to you now, it's a Nancy story.
Even
I'm giving you
how to go and render the dozer, the excavator.
You know,
it's like it sounds huge.
Yes,
yes.
We also hire dozer staff.
Yeah.
Come to come and construct.
Yes.
We had you see there was a dam.
Yes, I have seen a dam.
Good, but it didn't start from there, and so the fact is, if you are looking at where to get the money to go and hire a bulldozer and start your farm, that's a joke.
So meaning you can't start big at once.
No way.
You have to start small.
No way.
So I can have maybe 2 meters square of fish pond in my porch.
Bro.
Start there.
Yes.
And continue to expand it.
Today, most of our youth, they go on the net. But they know areas where they want to go. There are areas that is teaching you that behind your house,
you can
have a pond.
Not necessarily the earth pond.
No. You can do a small concrete pond.
Okay.
Buy like 100 blocks.
Okay.
And then start a pond.
Okay.
And put fish inside. That's it.
And if you don't want to use the blocks, you can use the tarpaulin.
Yes. That's why I said, you see, you need to have a background. Because if I'm telling you this, it's like a pastor preaching you.
Okay.
You have no idea. You haven't been to Bible school.
Okay.
He have been there, and he's telling you. It sounds weird to you.
Okay.
Until yourself,
you decide to exploit.
You understand?
Break it down.
And so, let me tell you, the youth that are choked with problems that, in terms of finding a job, they are not to be blamed.
They are not to be blamed.
No, they are not to be blamed.
So who do we blame?
Because the foundation. Who give them the foundation?
The information given to them.
Who give them the foundation?
Ghana Education Service.
Who give them foundation? I don't know who.
Ghana Education
I haven't mentioned
Service.
them yet.
But that's where we get the
so who gave them the foundation?
The entrepreneurs themselves.
Who gave them foundation? That's a problem. See, today you give them free SHS. It's good.
It's good. But what is the content of the free SHS?
So I'm saying that who gave them the foundation?
Ghana Education Service.
The foundation.
And not just the foundation, but the content of the foundation.
But the bottom line here is this. When you give birth to a child, you name the child. In fact, some of us, the name supposed to help the child to explore.
Okay.
2, the child supposed to grow better than you, the father.
Okay.
And so you give the child the foundation.
Let's move past this.
So the child will come and attack us if you don't put things right.
So now, we how do we correct? We cannot undo what we have already done.
No.
But the gap of we the youth that have found ourselves in this situation, how do we solve their problem? And based on that, we use it to correct the next generation to come.
Yes. So like I said, so then the youth today, for example, those who give the foundation to the children should let the children know that there's a challenge which we have to do away with.
Okay.
By so doing, these are the criteria.
Okay.
We have to do ABCD to move from where we are
to.
Because yes, it's like me taking you to Accra to go and give you a job. When we got there, the owner of the job said, Charlie, the place is full, or there's no vacancy.
So we need to change another job.
Yeah, change another job. So that's the situation.
So meaning the current curriculum in our education system from SHS to the university, we have to change them. It looks like that system was feeding the old industry where we don't have labor to feed our industry. So we need to train and teach them to go and fill that industry. Now the industry is choked. Now we need to diversify into another industry where we have to become entrepreneurs.
Were we having the industry?
Oh, we were having the engineering. When we take ECG, we need to get engineers to go and feed ECG. When we take VACO, TOR, the construction industry, we need to get engineers to feed those places. The accounting sector, the public sector.
One thing I would tell
Now
you,
all those places are choked
one
right
thing I
now.
would tell you, since childhood, I haven't seen ECG advertising for workers.
Yes. You've not seen it.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
it's because now the engineers that are there are full. We don't have space for. So maybe some few ones just to be replacing the old ones that are going on retirement.
So that is not even giving us anything. Even since it's not, it wasn't giving us, which we didn't realize. It wasn't giving us.
So we keep on feeding an industry where we don't have.
It wasn't giving us.
The
I'm
industry
saying that
for.
between you and I, and my bro, I've never seen any advertising from ECG, water and sewage, name them, that they are saying
It's already
for the past 20 years to say that. Have you ever seen any advertising to say ECG are looking for maybe 20 or 30 or 100 workers and that people should bring an application? No. And so we saw the problem coming, and that's why I said we giving this young generation a foundation. We give them a bad foundation.
So we need to change the foundation
Quickly. We are even almost late because we need to change quickly. Why is it that somebody like John Jamelo going into agric? It's because he saw something.
He's also an engineer. I learned he's a civil engineer.
So he saw something.
I interviewed one guy who is into pottery. He's a mechanical engineer, and he's saying that going to school is good to acquire the knowledge, but he uses his education as a mechanical engineer as to acquire the information, the knowledge, and the skill and network.
We've talked about that.
So he is not using the certificate that, okay, I've gone to do engineering, so let me find myself in the engineering industry. Now he's in the agri sector, applying.
If I will tell you the truth, 20 years ago, when I was, we could see the challenge. Because when I finished, I could see that employment was a problem. So it was politics. And so I realized that I don't want to go and face those challenges. Because even then, if you were to be employed, I mean, I have my uncle who used to work for ECG. Back then, it was pension. 20 years ago, I was telling you, it was pension. And you know, you go to ECG or you go for his pension pay. At that time, you know how much you get? 12 cedis.
12 cedis?
Yes, 12 cedis. And you want me to sit there? No.
And also get 12 cedis?
Yes,
No.
12 cedis.
Meanwhile, you can go into farming and get more than 12 cedis.
That is telling me that as early as that time, ECG has to start with. So was choked.
So why are leaders not seeing it?
Because they don't have the answers.
But they keep promising.
Yes, but you see, let me tell you one thing. Anybody that promises knows that is going to fail. Do not promise anybody. That's a fact.
And if you don't promise, they will not vote you into power.
So that is where the problem is. Don't go and promise. Don't promise anybody. I'm telling you. Because, bro, I'm telling you, if you promise your wife, you will fail.
Please, the youth, that's the first, the last advice before we move on. Don't promise your wife.
No, because you will fail.
Wow.